Welcome to the Nichols Mindset Podcast, where we discuss and interview guests from all walks of life to hear their success, their struggles, and perspectives on life. I'm Robert Nichols, and today we're going to be talking to one of our guests, the owner of the Salmon Stand here in Philadelphia. So yeah, man, so how's it going over there?
Everything's going good. Can't complain.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. So I wanted to reach out to you because I saw you on the YouTube, the JL Jupiter, and I was really impressed with the story. The grind that you put in over there. Starting from some humble beginnings and really doing it over there. So yeah, so I just wanted to get you on this podcast, so some of the viewers, future customers, listeners, just so they can hear more about who's this man behind the grill Salmon Stand. So yeah, cause you can just tell us a little bit about your story, and then we can unpack it from there.
Man, I don't even know where to start, man. It's been a long road. So we started back in 2018. I started off right at Germantown and Erie. Is a landmark right across the street from the Clock Bar, famous for their crabs and stuff like that. And I went out there. I set up with literally a picnic table and charcoal grill. And I went out there on the weekends. I just started on the weekends. And at first I wouldn't even sell no burgers. Literally, I go out there, I might sell 4 or 5 burgers. Honestly, nobody would really give me a play. And then, just staying consistent. After that, it just all took off. People start spreading the word. Hey, this guy got some good product. These burgers is good. And it started from the weekends to me just going out there about 4 days out of the week. And then I just grinded it up until I saved some money to get a bigger truck, to get a cart. I invested in that. And then once the pandemic hit, it made me want to turn it up even more to go more into myself. So that's when I took the leap of faith and just said, I'm going to put 100% into my business. I'm going to believe in myself. And ever since there, it's been up from there.
Okay.
So that's how that started.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, and that's quite interesting. So yeah, I have a few questions on that, what you just talked about. So you always been an entrepreneur? How did an entrepreneur bug come into you?
I always been an entrepreneur, but I also always been a worker. The hustle just in me. So
Yeah.
somebody said something on my page not too long ago, brought back memories. I used to go to school, and when I get out of high school, I used to go to Germantown and Shelton, and I used to sell books. So my cousin, he was like my whole family, everybody got the hustle in them, but my cousin at the time, he was an entrepreneur. He had a bookstore, and I was working with him, and literally after school, I'd go and set up a stand and sell books. At that time, that's when a lot of the play authors was going on, the True to the Games and all of that, and I was hustling with that. Like I always had the hustle in me, so at that time I was working and doing that. So I always did both. I always they say one is too close to none. So I always had two sources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, because nowadays, even before, me myself, I had my little trials and tribulations back in the day, but it also gave me the idea where you can't depend on that one income. I mean, you got to have some kind of diversification, in your portfolio, if it's doing something on the side, whatnot. Yeah. So you was working the 9 to 5, and then after that, you just said, all right, I'm going into do my own business.
Yeah. I was always in the fast food field. So I always cooked. I always cooked my whole life. I stayed in the kitchen. That's how I learned how to cook. I stayed in the kitchen. And so I stayed where the food was at. So my first couple jobs, all my jobs was basically in that field as far as cooking food. So I took bits and pieces from every job I had. And my last job right before I went full entrepreneur, um, I was working in the meat department. I was a butcher cutting meat. And they get pretty decent pay. I was making a pretty
Oh
penny,
yeah.
but at the same time, I had more I had bigger goals. I seen a bigger vision. So like I said, I took that leap of faith because I was doing both. I was working my 9 to 5 and doing my business for like a year and a half. I was working actually at one point I was working 3 jobs.
Wow.
Yeah. People-
Yeah, you gotta do sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that actually answers my question because I was actually wondering, how did you get into the food business? Well, you kind of explained. I mean, you was always into the food, in the kitchen all the time. I mean, 'cause I guess that's where the passion came from. It's like, hey, they're doing it here. I can go ahead and take this and do it myself.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I work for some pretty decent companies, so um they
Mhm.
always install certain things in people that, I actually took from them, like um the good qualities more so,
Yeah.
versus the bad parts. But I can say
Mhm.
I did have some decent employers. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, you take a little bit from everybody. And make the best product service offers for yourself.
Yeah.
You went into the salmon business. Is there a reason you went into salmon, and not cheeseburgers or whatnot? I mean, is there a backstory to that?
Yeah. So I actually came from cheeseburgers. I was
Oh,
to talk about that. I was working for a company. You might have heard of it. They pretty popular, and it's funny because I kind of got the same backstory from the guy that started that business. So just to touch on that, I worked for a company. I gave them about 5 hard years. It was a company called Shake Shake. Might have heard of them. They
yep.
famous
Yeah,
for
over here.
burgers. Yeah, and
Yeah, they just set up a whole bunch of shops over here in Asia.
oh, yeah, absolutely. They global. They worldwide now. But to give you a background on it, the CEO, uh, Danny Myers, he started from a hot dog cart inside Central Park. So it started from a hot dog cart. Now he got over probably 200 locations now worldwide, and I'm talking international as well. But that's funny. So he started from a hot dog cart, and then he evolved into the burgers. But long story short, I gave them 5 years of working and making burgers, and just the dedication of seeing how people go crazy for, you know, the burger. It made me think, what can I do? What can I do that could be different, that could make people go crazy? And I brainstormed and I thought and I thought and I thought, and then I always wanted to, start my own business as far as in the food industry, but at the same time, I always wanted to be different because everywhere you look, you got soul food, you got the mac and cheese, the yams, you see that. So it's like people see that and they like, all right, I taste one, I can't taste them all, so it's like you gonna get business, but at the same time, you want something that's gonna drive a different crowd. And then one day it just hit me. Boom. I said, okay, I got something. And I played with it, and then it came to life. And that's where them weekends came in at, you know, and then that's when it evolves. One thing about good food, the word spread. If it's good, they gonna tell somebody to tell somebody. So
Yes, sir. Yep, exactly. Because I was watching the YouTube video that you had did with JL Jupiter, and you were saying something how you wanted to also bring a healthy food to the community. because I know, because I'm in Singapore now, but when I was born in Chester, Pennsylvania, right out, and I stayed some time in South Philly, and I grew up there for, what, 15 years, 20 years. And I also see the situation that you're talking about, because like you have all these mom and pop shops, you have all these, and everything is cheesesteak, tasty cakes, curd chips, and a can Canada Dry drink. And you go to another place, and it's, the Chinese food, just, I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, I guess during that time it's cheap. So I mean, instead of,
Right.
going to get a salmon burger, I didn't even know about salmon burgers back then. I mean, it was just maybe catfish and whatnot. So yeah, so tell me about
Simple.
that. Your cause of trying to bring healthy food, because I mean, instead of going with the burgers, because salmon brings a lot of health benefits.
Oh yeah. So I mean, that's another thing. I mean, you got these places out here, not to try to bash anybody companies, but you got these these companies out here with the red meat and all of that, and it's really not good for you. I actually went vegan probably about 2 years ago, I say. I tried that.
Oh, wow.
Um, it worked out not too good though, because like I said, at one point I was working 3 jobs, so I was I was all over the place, and a lot, at the same time. That's why a lot of vegan companies is coming up too, because um, a lot of people is converted, and not a lot of people accommodate them type of eaters, these type of eaters. So that was kind of hard for me going in between jobs and stuff like that. And I had lost a lot of weight, and I didn't like that. So, I had to go with see fit. So I had to get back on the meat. But um I'm gonna convert back over in the next couple months, because I like that. I mean, at least pescatarian, as far as just on the straight
Yeah,
fish diet and veggies and fruits and stuff like that. But I want to see longevity for my people. Like I watched the show, a Netflix um a Netflix series, and it was about, like, it was called What the Health, and it was basically touching
oh,
topics on how the red meat and all that stuff is just not good for you. So when I thought about it, I said, what what can be good for our people that is still like a great meal that they gonna love to enjoy. And the
mm,
salmon is right now is a hot thing. It's very popular. That's one of the top fish right now, and that's out that a lot of people is accustomed to, that they like. So it just kind of
yeah.
all like came full circle like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, with what you're doing, because I mean, you're helping the community at the same time. You're providing for your family. So it's like because they say, like, I was watching the video, like, if you could solve a problem, like business is like me trying to come up with a new business, it's about solving a problem. Like, Grab solve the problem, Airbnb solve the problem. And if you're going to solve a problem, like say like, you're trying to bring like healthy food to the community or whatnot, you know, it's big things can happen, because I mean, it's not like too much. It ain't about the money, or it's about solving the cause and helping people. So I mean, yeah, that's when I saw about your company.
Absolutely.
So what keeps you motivated every day? Like, with your business, I mean, it's a lot of work. You got to get up in the morning. You got to do your seasonings, and you got to. I mean, I know there's a lot of work behind the scenes. It ain't just sitting up there flipping your burgers or whatnot. I know there's a lot that goes behind the scenes. What keeps you motivated? And, what goes on behind the scenes, like like a day in the life of the salmon guy.
Oh, you right. It's definitely not easy. A lot of people think it is, but yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Um, the motivation part, it all comes from my upbringing, and also just wanting better. And once you open that door, it's kind of like you have people have high expectations for you. So and then what they say, you got your haters watching and stuff like that. So they kind of, like my man Wallow say, the haters is my motivator. So that kind of drive you even more. But at the same time, the biggest thing is just you know, family, you know, I got little ones that I gotta provide for. So, you know, seeing them smile and happy when I could do things for them that I couldn't do before, um, that really motivate me. That really pushed my button. So, that right there alone, just seeing the smile on their face to be able to do things for them that I couldn't do in the past because, you know, it was just literally check to check, you know, paying bills, stuff like that. So that right there alone just keep me motivated, you know, being able to keep the bills paid and to keep my family happy. So, and then
Yeah,
also the
with you.
customers as well. The customers, they motivate me because knowing that they enjoy what I do and the type of energy that I bring when they come to experience the eat at, at my location, that gives me a lot of motivation as well to see the smiles on their face when they leave and the times when they come back and say, you know, oh, I loved it, I appreciate it, I'm back. Like I enjoyed that. So that right there, that that definitely that bumps it up as well.
True. So you working like 16 hours a day, 8 hours a day, like on a normal day when running your business.
The hours right now, and I kind of believe they could be shorter, but the way I do things, I'm more so so the thing is I want to give everyone the freshest product. So I do all my prepping on a day-to-day basis. Like I could do it and just drag it all the way out, but I honestly do it on a day-to-day basis. I keep everything first day fresh basis. That's how I
Nice.
operate. So you get the freshest of the fresh. So it's like that kind of put me in a jam of almost like 16-hour days. Honestly, so I
Uh,
wake up, I start my morning 5 in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm up and I'm moving around, um, going to the restaurant, going to the depot and stuff like that, going to our vendor, picking up product, and then going back to our commissary kitchen. And then I got two employees right now, and then one of them they come in and they help me prep. So they in about 8 o'clock. So I got like 3 hours by myself, and then from there we knocking it out together, and then it's off to going to the location and then actually putting in the work, satisfying the
yeah.
customers, and then breaking down. And then by that time, I got another employee that comes and help, and then she finished it off. But I'm honestly looking at like 16-hour days, so it's definitely a grind. So that's why right
Mhm.
now I kind of operate on a like a Monday through Friday basis because you know you still need time to you know enjoy your family and you know spend time with them,
Yeah,
and that's the
definitely.
whole overall goal of the entrepreneurship. You know, we all want to be financially free and stuff like that, but we also want to be on our own time and enjoy time with our family. So it's a hard grind. You know, you gotta stay motivated, dedication. You know, that's a lot of the key words right there to you know keeping it going. I mean, after a while, when you build up enough stamina and steam behind it, you know, it'll be able to run on its own, and then that's when you could kind of you know sit back and watch things. But the beginning part of the grind is definitely tiring. It been a few times I was ready to call it. I was ready to you know I was ready to throw in the towel. I ain't gonna lie, but you know I never been a quitter, so you know I just put my best foot forward. I dug deep, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I did.
Yeah. And it's funny how you say that, like you wanted to, fold up the chair and call it a day. Cause I just did a podcast, recently with somebody here and they started a burger shop and, very successful. Sold like over 700,000 burgers over 4 years. But he said the second day he wanted to wrap it up. It was the orders coming in, the customer service, everything. But he said the same thing you said was, hey, I put it in investment. If I don't do this, I don't know what's the outcome going to be. So we just split the cost. But the second day he wanted to fold it up. But yeah, man. But that takes me to my other question. So, I mean, with your journey so far, I know you had some setbacks and some failures. Is there anything that any setbacks and failures that you learned from that you can take from
Um,
along your journey?
Along my journey, setbacks and failures. Um,
I mean,
yeah, I mean, well, a lot of this, I could honestly say a lot of the setbacks came from not always believing. Well, not saying always, not always believing, but not not always putting that 100% into my business. Like I said, I was working a 9 to 5 and doing my business. And I was talking to somebody because I talk to a lot of people. That's one thing that you have to do. You have to communicate and reach out, because you never know who you're talking to. So that's why I treat all my customers the same. I treat everybody with the utmost respect, and I respect the same in return. And you never know who you're speaking to. You never know who you're gonna come across. And I was speaking to somebody, and they told me, they said, you got a business. They said, uh, I forget the exact words, but long story short, they basically said, if if you only giving your business 50% and not the whole 100, then you ain't got no business. And when I sat back and thought about it, I'm like, you right, because at the same time, I'm giving this job basically probably 75%, and I'm only giving my business 25%. That don't add up. What am I doing here? You know? So that was kind of one of my biggest setbacks, because it was times I'll be at work and people would be calling me like, hey, you working? What you doing? And I'm like, I'm dragging it out. I'm like, I'm not gonna be open till 4 o'clock, or 5 o'clock, or stuff like that. And I was dragging it out, and it makes my business look, because now my name is on it. So I'm putting my name on this business, and I'm kind of like back burning people that want to come and support my business, because I'm I'm on someone else clock. I'm on somebody else time, giving them my time, and I'm not giving my business my time to dedicate to my customers. So when I thought about it, that's what kind of really pushed me, to really put in that 100% in, because at the end of the day, you have to give your business 100%. If you don't give your business 100%, you're not going to get the results that you want. You have to dig in. You have to dig deep. So at that point in time, I said, I gotta go all in. Like, what am I doing? Am I really believing in my business, or I'm just 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like praying that it worked? You gotta put all the work in. You gotta get your business 100%, 110%. Got to.
yeah, well said, man. Makes total sense. So, with that being said, what is like your vision for yourself or for your company? Because I know when I watched that video, he said, I forget what the time date when that video started, but you said right now you started at with the chair and the charcoal grill. Then you say you got the current grills that you have right now. And you said in October you're gonna have the food truck, which, and you're not off, and you're only off for like 2 weeks. So I mean, you're actually setting them goals and you hitting them. So
Yeah,
what is your vision going forward? Like, I mean, what do you see? Because I mean, I see you're visionary and you're hitting them, you're grinding, you stay in the course.
absolutely. So I'm taking it one step at a time. So right now, I'm focused on this. I actually got something else in the works as well. I just got a new partnership. I ain't gonna speak too much on that, because we still putting documentation into place. But it's gonna be big. So if they follow my platform, at the grill salmon stand at the grill underscore salmon stand on Instagram, um, on Twitter at the salmon stand. You can follow those updates on there. Or www.thegrillsalmonstand.com. You can follow that on there as well. But I got something in place with that. But between that and the new truck, I'm just focused on that right now because you can't never think too far ahead. You gotta take it one step at a time because in this business is a whole lot that come with it. And if you get too far ahead of yourself, you kind of find yourself, tripping over your own feet. And we don't want to do that. So we want to stand tall and we want to provide all our customers with the best service and with the best quality. So we're gonna take it one step at a time. But I give it a year. Give it a year with the new plan that's in place right now. And then by then, I think, we might if things go as planned, then we could look into brick and mortar and try to get them a
Mm.
permanent location to come to.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know because I watch your Instagram. I mean, you're still grinding it out though, but I mean, you had to deal with the weather because you had the rain coming in. So I mean, I think now with
You
that your new one though, you can actually work in with the
can handle the elements
with the new
now. Yeah, definitely grind it out, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't mind the rain. Actually, the rain is my favorite weather. So when it rains, sometimes I ain't really mind the rain, but it's the wind. You can't beat the wind.
yeah.
When them high winds coming in, that'll kick your butt, man. Blowing bonds over here and blowing the for you and blowing the fire out. So when it's windy, that's my kryptonite right there, man. But like you said, now we can stand the elements. So it don't matter. We out there.
Yeah, yeah, that's a blessing. And so so you're having this I would consider it success from where you started to right now. What would you consider success in your own?
I'm trying to take this worldwide. So until then, we working. I kind of to touch back on what I said about as far as the old job I had and the standpoint where he came from to where he at now. Um, that's big motivation. That's big motivation. Like I said, he started from a hot dog cart in Central Park, and then you know, they grind it out, and then they made an actual like small restaurant right there in the park, and then from there, it just it just branched out from one location to another location. As time went on, so that was big motivation, and then also one of my years working there for Christmas, they had gave out like he gave out a book. He came out with a book. He published his own book, and it been a few years. I don't remember the exact title, but I believe that's his only book he published. But it was some key factors in that book that I tapped into, and it's just big motivation. Like I said, like just to see that now, like you just said, they all over in Asia and stuff like that. It's just I believe it's big. It's big. I got big plans for this. I got big plans for it. So I want it to be worldwide. So until then, that's what I call successful. When I could say, when I could, call you on a video chat and you like, hey, I just ate at your restaurant over here. So
Yeah, yeah, man. Because when I be watching that video, I was like, man, because I plan to come back next year. I was like, I gotta come to the stand, man. I gotta get up there. I'm tired of watching this video and watching them juicy burgers. Yeah, yeah. So, is there any influential people that you follow or mentors that you follow that to help you go along with your journey? That you like read books or any books or like motivation speakers, things like that that keep you motivated.
I take a liking to a few. few people. But right now,
Mm,
I'm not gonna lie. One of the big motivators, one of the top motivators right now in my city is Wallow 267. And
got him.
you know, I salute him. You know, he did a long bid, and he came home and he had the blueprint. You know, he wrote it all down, and he accomplished his goals. So just waking up, every morning, you know, that ain't the first thing I do is get on Instagram, but that's in the routine of, you know, when you wake up, washing your face, brushing your teeth and all that. And when you get a quick second, like my favorite meal of the day is breakfast. So, while I'm eating, my bowl or whatever, um, I'm I'm on my phone at the same time. I'm multitasking, and just to see him pop right on the timeline, it's like I said, I get up 5 in the morning, so to see him, right there, he just pooped 4 or 5 minutes ago, and he running in the rain, and he like, yeah, you get up, get busy, so that's right there. And just to see where he came from, just coming out of jail doing all them years and really becoming a millionaire and really like making his goals come true, that's big motivation. Like, so he one of the top motivators right now that, I kind of, look up to, and he hit it every time, every time he talking about putting in the work, getting up, stop being lazy, keeping bad vibes from around you, you know, keeping people around you that's on the same type of time that you on, or that's trying to get to where you going. Not nobody that's on some like, oh, I don't think you can do it, or I wouldn't do that, on some let's go, like let's do it. So right now, that's a big motivator right now in my eyes.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely be following him. $1 million worth of game. Yeah, I
Yes,
watched one of the videos where he had like piles of his t-shirts, pushing the car right to the back of the post office, talking about, get your merch, do something, start your own brand. Yeah, yeah, he's definitely a motivator for me also.
yeah, he did all that. He
Yeah.
did all that. Years in the prison. He knew to this. He was new to all this.
Hmm.
People knew about Instagram for years. He came out and he he turned it upside down. So big ups to him. I salute him.
For sure. All right. Well, yeah, that kind of wraps it up. But I just wanted last question. Is there anything that you want to say for people that's wanted to start this business up, and for your customers out there? Anything you want to share that I didn't touch on?
Um, all I can say is just believe. Believe. That's if you think it, believe it, you can achieve it. And that's just plain and simple, and never give up. Never give up. That's just, that's as short and sweet as I could keep it. I could get deep
Yeah.
into it, but we're gonna keep it short and sweet. But that right there is just,
Yeah.
if you think it, but you can, and you believe it, make it happen. There's nothing but opportunity out here.
Well said. Yep. Yep. So, well, you already gave their where people can find you at. I guess we can do it one more time at the end. Like, where's your location at, and where they can find you at.
Oh yeah. So you could right now, the location of the food cart you can find is at 3806 North 4th Street. That's in Philly, PA. Zip 19140. And if you're really not familiar with it, if you don't want to type in to the Google Maps and all of that, um, it's in the North Philly section. It's right between Pike and then Butler, and we right there. You can't miss us. Um, on all the platforms. Instagram, you can find us at the THA Grill ED _ Salmon Stand. Twitter at Salmon Stand. And on Facebook, I believe it's the Grill Salmon Stand. You can find us on Facebook as well. Just look for our logo though. You find this logo right here, always repping the brand, and that's another thing.
Yes, sir.
Advertisement. Advertise your business. I know y'all rock all these designers and all of that and stuff like that, but if you believe in your business, your hat need to have your logo on there because you was walking advertisement. You never know who's gonna see your logo, see your hat, see something on the back of your shirt, anything, and type it into their phone and come and support you. So advertisement is everything. Whether you gotta pay for it, whether you do it for free, whether you give people that you know that work in big places, give them t-shirts, tell them to wear it to work 5 days out the week. Advertisement is everything because that's what drive these business. That's what drive these businesses out here. That's you go to a baseball game, you see, first thing you see is a Pepsi sign or a Chick-fil-A sign, the Philly sign. That's it's right in your face. We do what we see. So we see that, advertise your business. So that's another gem for you right there. So, advertise your business.
All right. Well said. Well said. Well, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I want to thank you for taking your time. I know you, like you said, you're a busy man, putting in the hours, but I definitely really appreciate this 1 hour that I had with you, to connect with you, bringing it to life. To see you on YouTube and have you on this podcast is awesome. And I think a lot of people are going to be benefiting from this. And, I'm going to be sharing it out there, putting it on the website everywhere, and, try to also bring some more visibility to the brand, so people can hear that story. So it's not just them having a burger or your offers, but they can see what's behind it. I mean, there's a cause behind it, there's a grind behind it, there's a passion behind it. So, I mean, it definitely helps out.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you, man, for, sharing your platform. And, this is actually one of my first podcasts. I got a few coming up, so I'm not going to say this like practice, but, I appreciate you, putting this together for us so that we can spread the word. And like I said, advertising is everything. So, we here, we both advertising each other. We making it work.
Yes, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. All right. Well, that's the Nichols Mindset Podcast. So, stay tuned for our next episodes.